Have you ever pondered how the field of psychology has evolved to what we know it as today? The journey began with Wilhelm Wundt in the late 19th century. Known as the father of modern psychology, Wundt established the first psychology laboratory in Leipzig, Germany. This was not just any lab, it was dedicated to exploring the human mind scientifically, a concept groundbreaking for that era. Wundt's method, called structuralism, dissected the mind into its basic components, essentially treating the mind as a mechanical entity. He aimed to understand our conscious experience, sensations, feelings, and thoughts. Wundt emphasized using scientific methods for mind investigation, setting new research standards. His work formed the bedrock for future psychological theories. Wundt also underscored the need for understanding the societal and cultural influences on human behavior. His holistic approach was innovative and still influences psychology today. So remember, Wilhelm Wundt, the first psychology laboratory, and structuralism as we explore the dawn of modern psychology. And this was just the beginning of a journey that would change our understanding of the human mind forever. As we move forward in our journey through the history of psychology, we encounter a theory that contested Wundt's structuralism. This new viewpoint, functionalism, was led by American scholar William James. Unlike Wundt's focus on the mind's structure, James probed its functions. He believed that understanding the mind required examining how mental processes contribute to our survival and adaptation. The essence of functionalism lies in the utility of these processes. They've evolved to aid our survival in a complex world. For example, learning from past experiences helps us make informed future decisions. Emotions like fear and happiness serve protective and motivational roles, respectively. Functionalism groundbreaking, offering a comprehensive view of the mind, emphasizing how different parts collectively aid in our environmental adaptation. It also provided a foundation for the practical application of psychological principles in diverse fields like education and mental health. So as we transition from the structuralist views of Wundt to the functionalist perspectives of James, we see a shift in focus from the what and how of mental processes to the why. As we continue our journey, see how these early theories have influenced the evolution of psychology. As the 20th century dawned, a new face emerged in the field of psychology, leaving a lasting impression. This was Sigmund Freud, who became synonymous with psychoanalysis. Born in Austria, Freud was a neurologist who revolutionized our understanding of the human mind. He dived deep into the unconscious mind, uncovering feelings, thoughts, and memories that shape our behavior. He believed this hidden part of our psyche is not just a repository of past experiences, but an active entity that influences our present. The unconscious mind, Freud argued, conflicting with societal norms, leads to internal struggles, causing anxiety or other psychological distress. A central aspect of Freud's theory emphasized the impact of childhood experiences on adult behavior. Freud also introduced defense mechanisms, unconscious strategies to ward off distressing thoughts. However, his theories faced backlash, especially his emphasis on sexual drives and the role of childhood experiences. Nevertheless, Freud's ideas sparked a psychological revolution, challenging the status quo and forcing a shift of focus to our internal, unconscious. Freud's controversial theories stirred the pot, opening the door for alternative perspectives on the human psyche. Freud's theories of the unconscious mind and the advent of behaviorism both made significant strides in the study of psychology. During this era, another critical perspective emerged: Gestalt psychology. Gestalt, a German term, translates as whole or form, promoting the view of the mind as a whole rather than its dissected parts. This theory was radically different from the behaviorism methodology, which focused on individual responses and actions. Gestalt theory's pioneers, Max Wertheimer, Kurt Koffka, and Wolfgang Kohler, insisted that our minds perceive things as an entirety and our view isn't merely a compilation of its components. They argued that our brains naturally configure what we observe and experience into a cohesive whole, defining our world perception. They suggested that this organization is innate and spontaneous, highlighting the significance of patterns and context in our perception. The renowned "the whole is greater than the sum of its parts" encapsulates Gestalt psychology's core principle. It was a crucial bridge between the introspective study of mental processes and the observable behaviors, emphasized by behaviorism. As psychology developed, so did the desire for a more scientific and observable approach. This longing birthed behaviorism in the early 20th century. John B. Watson, a believer in objectivity, was its founder. Watson advocated that psychology should focus on measurable behaviors, not on the elusive idea of free will. He suggested our actions are determined by our environment, laying the groundwork for a major shift in psychology. Building upon Watson, B.F. Skinner proposed operant conditioning. He suggested learned behaviors come from a pattern of rewards and punishments. This led to a more tangible way to study behavior, despite critics arguing it neglected internal mental processes. Behaviorism's significant impact shifted psychology's focus from abstract theories to observable behaviors. It emphasized our environment's role in shaping our behavior and established a foundation for more scientific methods to study the human mind. With behaviorism, psychology embraced a more empirical approach, focusing on the observable and measurable. But the journey of psychology was far from over. The rise of behaviorism was just one chapter in this ever-evolving story, a pivotal moment that set the stage for the developments to come. Before we dive into the next transformative era of psychology, let's take a quick break. We've journeyed from the birth of modern psychology to the advent of behaviorism. We've traced the evolution of psychology, observing its growth with each novel perspective and theory. And journey isn't over. More fascinating explorations of psychologies await. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel if this exploration intrigues you. Don't neglect the bell icon for prompt notifications of our new releases. We are eager to hear your opinions. What captivates you about psychology's history? Do you have a preferred school of thought? Perhaps a theory that holds meaning for you? Leave all your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate your contributions to this exploration. Now, let's resume our journey with the emergence of humanistic psychology and the cognitive revolution. As the mid-20th century approached, a new perspective emerged, one that saw humans as more than just products of their environment. This shift birthed humanistic psychology, centering on the individual's psychological universe. Key figures like Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow emerged, challenging deterministic psychoanalytical and behavioral views. Rogers, known for his person-centered approach, held a strong belief in the inherent goodness and personal agency of humans. In contrast, Maslow introduced the influential hierarchy of needs theory, emphasizing personal growth and fulfillment. However, humanistic psychology wasn't alone in its transformative impact. The 60s witnessed another shift, the cognitive revolution. This movement highlighted mental processes like decision-making, underlining the importance of perception and memory in shaping behavior. Essentially, the rise of humanistic psychology and the cognitive revolution marked a pivotal point in psychology, emphasizing personal growth, self-understanding, and mental processing. These movements reminded us of the complexity of the human mind and the myriad of factors that influence it. From the late 20th century to the present day, psychology has continued to grow and diversify. Now, as we traverse the 21st century, the field of psychology stands not just as a study of the mind, but as a tool to enhance our lives. It has diversified into various branches. Clinical psychology focuses on diagnosing and treating mental disorders, helping people worldwide cope with their issues. Developmental psychology illuminates our understanding of growth, aging, and everything in between. Social psychology analyzes how our social environment affects our thoughts and behaviors, enlightening us about group dynamics, prejudice, and leadership. Industrial organizational psychology applies to the workplace, improving employee well-being and productivity. Multicultural and cross-cultural psychology are becoming more vital as they study cultural influence on human behavior. These branches each offer unique perspectives to understand the human mind and behavior. New theories continue to emerge, and old ones are refined. As we continue to delve into the human mind, one thing is certain: the journey of psychology is far from over. The future holds thrilling possibilities with unprecedented insights and breakthroughs awaiting.